Alright, I just want to tell you, you may have seen at the start that this says major spoilers. So turn away now because there is going to be major spoilers in this video for Spider-Man Far From Home. I just got out of the theater, so this is the review you have all been waiting for. It's really hard to not talk about this movie, and just like in-game, I feel like these movies are going to get bigger, bigger, and bigger. Therefore, they're going to get harder and harder and harder to review. So, yeah, I hate that, like, they're getting so big. It's just crazy. In-game is proof that they're going to do more than 1 hour or 2 hours. Man, I don't think they should be able to go over 3 hours, man. Cause in game, it was crazy. This movie is the craziest Spider-Man movie I have ever seen, and well, it's kind of the second Spider-Man movie I've ever seen because I don't really want to watch the other movies. Because, like, I like Tom Holland. He's my favorite one. And, so, I just want to say major spoilers. Now, most of you will hope maybe you've seen the trailers, maybe you haven't. Let's just say the first part of the movie is made of the trailers. So, like, the whole Mysterio introduction. Okay. Spoilers start right now. The spoilers start right now. Okay. So we start off here with the Sandman thing, where Nick Fury and Maria Hill, they're back, and the Snap is also referred to as the Blimp because they don't want to call it the Decimation. They want to call it some kitty name, so they call it the Blimp. And it starts off with a little musical thing. I don't know the song, but over the credits. And then it has a tribute to Tony Stark. And then we got the introduction right away of Nick Fury and Maria Hill driving down a desert highway, which I kind of accidentally seen by accident. And then Mysterio pops out. And we get Jake Gyllenhaal right away. And so, yeah, it's kind of... And then they eventually get to the Hydro Man attack set. The sets, I'm surprised the Lego sets are actually more accurate than the ones in Spider-Man Homecoming and in in-game. It's pretty surprising. Like the visuals are like Doctor Strange. Once like the movie gets into the full gear, like not credits, I just stopped eventually watching every in parts of it because Sony just loves to just give the stuff away. And doggone it, they probably just ruined the post-credit scenes, which I will be saying because this is a spoiler review. Okay, so just if you haven't clicked off, what are you doing, man? So we'll get to the post-credit scenes. So we get introduced to like Hydro Man. They vaguely reference that, and that there's a guy who got thrown off a boat, and he got water powers. Then I don't think they mentioned Sandman's origins anywhere, and then I don't think they mentioned the Molten Man guy either. But we get the normal trailer bits that you've seen for the most part. And so I just really think that it was still funny, very funny movie, very spy thriller romance. I can relate to Peter Parker in the romance section of the movie. I can totally relate. So I really like the spy factor. I like that kind of spy factor things into this. I think that it could have been cool if Zendaya mentioned, because she was in a spy show called Casey Undercover. I think she could have um, said something cool, like funny, referencing that. They mentioned Power Rangers for like 5 seconds, and they also mentioned Star Wars, which is pretty cool. If you didn't know, Power Rangers was once a Disney thing, so yeah. I didn't know if they could legally do that, but yeah. Um, so there was a lot of cool action scenes. If you know Mysterio's origins, he is not to be trusted in any way. And so, yeah, of course, you've got to remember that they follow off with Endgame. So, there's a lot of references to Tony Stark in this movie. A lot of the other characters had a lot of more things to do, which I was happy about. I will say this about Nick Fury's character. I mean, I think he's always kind of been a jerk, but he was a real jerk in this one. And I'm glad to see Maria Hill actually have something to do. But, yeah. And so, yeah. It is good to have Spider-Man out of his comfort zone. And that really benefited the movie in a way, because I know that the other movies, they never really got out of there and out of New York. And look at where MCU Spider-Man he is. He went to Germany, like in Civil War, and he went back to like the exact same airport. And so the whole thing with Mysterio is that Tony Stark fired Mysterio when he created the barf tech back in Civil War. It wasn't actually called barf tech; it was something else. But yeah, so it was called some other thing, and they like reference all kinds of other movies, and it was really funny. So yeah, I got some of the references. Really nice. Sadly, no Stanley cameo, but very nice action scenes. Always like you're reading a comic book. Like, even if I had read the comic books, I would know what the scene was. Like, what they were doing. And, so, yeah. It was very nice to see some very cool Doctor Strange-ish things going on. And so, that's really it. There is no Tobey Maguire, despite all of the rumors about Tobey Maguire being in this movie, in the multiverse and everything. There is 2 post-credit scenes. And like I said, if you have seen the movie, you should be here. If you haven't seen the movie, you should be gone by now. But, yeah. So, yep. So, they get back from their trip. This is the end. This is going to be the end credit part. So, they get back. Zendaya or MJ knows about his identity and everything. And Mysterio is supposedly gone. and all that stuff. He's not. So, yeah, there was just a bunch of amazing action scenes together, and so it's pretty cool. Tom Holland just kicks it off and off and off. It just he never like slows down any. And I gotta give credit to all of the other guys in this movie. Nick Fury, Maria Hill, all of the supporting actors, every one of them is pretty cool. And so, yeah. Do people mention about the whole technology thing with Peter? He's supposed to be able to figure out himself without having much help. He has to have help in some circumstances, guys. He has to have that a little bit. But yeah, it was pretty cool. So let's talk about this. This is the post-credit scenes. So they get back to New York, and everything seems fine. They were going on a date when all of a sudden things appear on the big movie screens in New York about the Mysterio accident and how he was at the second part of the movie fighting Spider-Man versus Mysterio. And who do you guys know that is always a menace in the TV shows? Who is always calling Spider-Man out? That's right, my guy, the dude, the old grouchy man himself, J. Jonah Jameson, is gonna be in the next movies. And yep, the guy, J.K. Simmons, he looks exactly like the animated form of J. Jonah Jameson. He is also in the Justice League movies and DC movies. And he's in Tobey Maguire movies as well. I don't think Peter Parker or Andrew Garfield had the other movies, or had J. Jonah Jameson. But, yeah. It was just pretty cool, just all around. Just everything that I wanted from a movie, just like Homecoming and Endgame and all the other ones. They did it. Like I said, these movies are going to get so big and crazy that they're going to be impossible to not spoil. And the second post-credit scene is a little more confusing to what is going on. So you see Maria Hill and Nick Fury driving. Then all of a sudden, they turn into Skrulls. That's right. The Skrulls are already invading Earth. And they're already invading Earth. So, it's crazy. And then they call Nick, and then it pans to Nick Fury, who is out in space on a spaceship with a bunch of other Skrulls. And it's the Skrull guy from Captain Marvel, the good guys. And so, yeah, it's they're starting the secret invasion, which, if you don't know, that's the Skrulls invade Earth and everything. And there's this crazy visual. I thought it was pretty cool. They had Tony Stark's Iron Man as a zombie. It was really funny. It was really cool. Just the illusions, how they do all that stuff is crazy. And just seeing all the cool different locations was really nice. And so, yeah. I was a little more confused about the whole second post-credit scene, but the first one with J. Jonah Jameson was pretty nice. So, overall, I am going to give Spider-Man Far From Home a 10 out of 10. Yep, 10 out of 10. So, yeah. This is a nice 4th of July-ish movie to have coming in. It was originally going to come out Friday, and they turned it so now all the posters and trailers are kind of inaccurate, but that's a thing that happens sometimes. But overall, it was pretty nice for something that had to continue what Endgame did. I feel like Ant-Man and the Wasp kind of missed that mark because it was a prequel and not a sequel, in a sense. It was a prequel and a sequel together. It was kind of confusing. So, yeah. But that's how I feel. I will tell you to avoid YouTube, even avoid this video. If you just don't care, if you watch this video all the way through and you just you just didn't care about spoilers, or you cared and you watched it anyway, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I'm not responsible for you clicking this video. I had emails coming through on my email with spoilers. I tried not to read them, but yeah. I didn't even click half of them. I unsubscribed to half the channels, to like 3 channels, because of them giving out spoilers. I eventually stopped watching all the trailers because Sony likes doing that. That's the bad thing about their marketing stuff. But yeah, that's about it for this review. Once again, this is a spoiler review. So the comments, let's see here. I would be careful about the comments. Just be careful about the comments section. So, yeah. That's about it. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And I shall see you next time. Spider-Man Far From Home gets a 10 out of 10 from me. So please comment, like, and subscribe. And I shall see you next time. Bye.